Here's an AMI This Week shortcut with Alex Smyth.
No one has ever accused me of being a fashionista. But when I first heard about the Braille t-shirts by Aille Design, I knew I had to get one for myself. The one I'm wearing says fashion is for everyone across the front in Braille. And that is something founder Aille Jovanovic truly believes in. We're fortunate enough to have her join us today to talk about that and so much more. Alexa, thank you so much for chatting with me today.
Thank you so much for having me. Thanks to everyone at AMI.
Now, off the top, I already described a bit about what Aille Design is, but for those who don't know, can you kind of tell us a bit?
Of course, so Aille Design is an emerging fashion brand, and what we do is we add intricate beading to all of our garments, but what's really unique about it is that all of that beading is actually fully legible Braille, and all of our garments are created alongside the blind and visually impaired community, and the phrases that we bead often describe exactly what that garment is, allowing the end user to fully envision the piece.
That's fantastic, and the shirt I'm wearing right now, it says fashion is for everyone. So what does that mantra mean for you?
So that mantra is exactly what our company stands for. So while we work directly with the blind and visually impaired community to create these pieces and that they have Braille, we really believe that these are pieces that can be worn by absolutely anyone. We want to make sure that fashion truly is a way that anyone can express themselves, and that just because you may have a disability or you may have a certain fashion preference, that really shouldn't limit you in what you can actually wear. So by using the Braille and having a phrase like fashion is for everyone, it really just brings inclusivity to a whole nother level. With this, that's kind of the whole goal, is making sure that we don't have products that are segmented for individuals who may have disabilities or identify as being disabled, or individuals who are fully sighted, but rather one product that's superior that can benefit all. It really normalizes the appearance of Braille, because right now there is a lot of stigma about Braille. So being able to create it in a fashion-forward aspect and using a material like Swarovski crystal pearls, it really helps to provide more of a connotation of luxury and beauty when it comes to accessibility.
That's huge. You know, eliminating stigma and normalizing Braille and accessibility is so important. Now, building on that, can you tell me about the name Aille Design? Because it's not spelt the way people might think it is.
I'm really glad that you asked that. So that's a common question that we get, is why is it spelled similar to the pronunciation of ale, but pronounced I? So it's actually a French verb. It comes from the verb aller, which means to move forward. So essentially, our company, Aille, is the direction that the entire industry needs to move forward into. So that pronunciation, which is French, is kind of a nod to our Canadian upbringing. Also, the two dots in our logo, Aille, they're actually the character for the letter I in Braille. So it kind of gives that appearance of the Braille right off the bat, and also adds as the functionality of how you actually pronounce the word.
That's so cool. Now, you mentioned earlier that you worked with the community to produce these products. Can you tell me a bit about what that process is like?
So the co-design process is a huge aspect of everything that we're doing. We strongly believe that you can't create a great end product unless that end user is involved every step of the way. The project originated as phrases that were going to physically identify the garment, but instead, some individuals in that co-design process desired more inspirational quotes. So something like the fashion is for everyone, that's where that came from. So the community is involved every step of the way. It started with a few different individuals in the local Toronto area, but in the past few years, we've been able to increase that network of individuals to an international level, which really just helps because visual impairments and reducing stigmas has to be combated on an international level.
That's so exciting. With all this growth and development, I gotta ask, where do things go from here for Aille Design?
So for the future, one of the biggest things that we want to do is make sure that we're not the only company doing this. We really want to make sure that we can set a new standard for the fashion industry as a whole. And so in order to do that, one of the biggest things is going to be partnering and collaborating with other big name organizations who already have a very large influencer base and a very solid and reliable customer base. So by doing that and being able to collaborate and provide Braille onto other mainstream garments, we can kind of expand this vision, educate more people, and then slowly have that roll out to even more companies. So that's the big goal of 2021, is really increasing our collaboration with other mainstream companies.
It's so vital to, support small businesses such as yourself. So if there's viewers at home who want to either learn more or maybe pick up a couple of these awesome t-shirts for themselves, where can they go?
So everything can be purchased, or to learn more about our story, that can all be done on our website, which is ailledesign.com. And so that's spelled AILLE design.com. And also on Instagram, our handle is the same thing, @Aille Design.
Alexa, I am such a fan of you and all the work you're doing with Aille Design. I can't wait to see what happens next. Thank you for chatting with me today.
Thanks, Alex. Good to talk to you.